Hello everyone, welcome back to the Web Security channel. In this video will learn how to use a Union SQL injection to find which column in the query can hold text. We'll be solving the PortSwigger lab titled SQL Injection Union Attack, Finding a Column Containing Text. In this demo, I'll use a browser and burp suite to intercept and modify requests. To complete this lab, you'll need to build on the previous lab where we determined the number of columns in a table. I have a detailed tutorial video on that, and I'll leave the link in the description below. Before we start, a quick reminder about ethical conduct. This video is for educational purposes and authorized testing only. Do not attempt these techniques on systems without explicit permission. Lab objective and requirements. Here's the lab page. The lab gives you a random value that must appear in the page results. That's what we'll make appear using a union attack. The lab also reminds us to first determine the number of columns, then find which column accepts string data. Now we need to determine how many columns the query returns. We'll use the same union select technique from the previous lab. I'll enable interception in burp, click the category filter, and send the intercepted GET request to repeater. In repeater, I edit the category parameter and inject a union select payload that closes the existing quote, adds union select with null placeholders, and then comments out the rest of the query. For example, single quote union select null dash dash and URL encode the payload before sending. The server returns a 500 error, so I'll keep adding null placeholders, separated by commas, until the query executes successfully. When the response changes to 200, I know the number of nulls equals the number of columns. In this case, 3 null values produced a 200 response, so the query returns 3 columns. Next, we'll find which of those 3 columns accepts text. We do this by replacing a null placeholder with a quoted string. Here I'll use. Quick note, in SQL, text values must be written as string literals, which means they need to be enclosed in quotes. Without quotes, the database treats the value as an identifier or number, which causes type errors. So we put the text in single quotes like A, B, C, D, E, F. First, I replace the first null with A, B, C, D, E, F and send the request. The server returns 500, so that column doesn't accept text. I restore the null, then replace the second null with A, B, C, D, E, F and send again. This time we get a 200 response and the string appears in the page output. That tells us the second column accepts text. As a final check, I restore the second null, replace the third null with A, B, C, D, E, F and submit. This returns 500 again, confirming the second column is the text column. To complete the lab, we just need to place the lab's random value into the column that accepts text. In my case, that value is YFBWHF. I copy it from the page, return to burp repeater, and replace the second null with YFBWHF. After submitting the request, the server returns a normal response, and the application displays a confirmation message indicating that the lab has been successfully completed. In this lab, we learned 2 essential union-based SQL injection techniques: how to determine the number of columns returned by a query, and how to identify which column accepts text. These are foundational skills you'll use in more advanced SQL injection attacks. In the next video, we'll build on this by using union select to extract actual data from the database, applying the same methods you learned here. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more beginner-friendly content on cybersecurity and ethical hacking. And don't forget to check the video description for all the links I mentioned. If you have any questions or suggestions, please write them in the comments. See you in the next one.